At some point in your life, someone you know will die. It's not a question of if that will happen, but rather a question of when it will happen. Another factor you can't overlook is who it will happen to. Is it going to be someone you love, like a close friend or family member? Or will it be your really annoying neighbor who keeps taking your parking spot? I see you, Craig. Your time is coming. Death is one of the most tragic things that can occur in an individual's life, which is why it's so interesting to watch in media. Not only do you get to see how a variety of different individuals react to this life-altering situation in different ways, but you also get to experience that, phew, thank God that wasn't me, moment that comes along with it. When watching a show, you're faced with how the character on screen will deal with this situation. Will it be a slow, methodical process, going through each emotion step by step? Or will it be essentially ignored so the main character can focus on the real main plot of acquiring more e-waifus? So let's take a look together at Journal with Witch. If I know anything about witches, it's that they're lumpy, green, and scary, which thankfully has nothing to do with this series, as there are no witches involved. Kind of a counterintuitive title. This is Asa, our extroverted 15-year-old protagonist, who recently lost her parents in an unexpected accident that may or may not have contained a famous isekai villain. Due to this recent event, she meets her estranged and introverted aunt Makio, who, soon after being introduced, takes guardianship over her, wanting to give her the life she deserves, much like one would do with an adopted pet. Despite sharing blood, they have no real familial connection, keeping their relationship at kind of a surface level. So, you come here often? While Asa struggles to fully process the recent changes in her life, she leans on Makio and the sense of normalcy she provides. Although Makio was the sister of Asa's mom, they had a very strained relationship, leading to Makio not really mourning her at all, creating a very unique dynamic between the two that you don't see often. With Asa's goal of processing what's going on and Makio's goal of dealing with minimal social interactions, and also providing for her niece, we have a newly established relationship that will morph and change into something wholly different yet still familiar. Death is used as a narrative device in a vast majority of media released nowadays. Someone needs a power-up, someone dies, someone needs to grow as a person, someone dies, someone cuts in front of you at the grocery store, someone's gonna die. But making death and the grief that follows the focal point of your story isn't nearly as common. You never really see death elaborated on in a way that's as real or raw as what we see here in Journal with Witch. Call me controversial, but I just think they could have mourned Yamcha a little bit more, you know? Narratively, Asa's grief is the main focal point of the story, taking precedence over Makio's. Frankly, there's a distinct lack of grief from Makio, due to her relationship with her sister being as soured as... Wait, 1 second, let me just... The Balimbi fruit, as well as her generally stoic demeanor. But rather than seeing Makio dealing with this loss in a more traditional sense, it seems that she's instead reevaluating her relationship with her sister. As time goes on, she gains a more thorough understanding of who she was as a person and the potential intentions behind her actions. Maybe she didn't take me to that flagpole for no reason. Both of our main characters are processing the same situation very differently, due to their own unique perspectives and individual experiences with those who have passed away. It's a very interesting dynamic to witness that I've straight up never seen in any anime or any form of media for that matter. Not only does the show shine when portraying the grief of our two main characters, Asa and Makio, but the tie-ins with side characters and the different problems they're experiencing and how those problems parallel our main story is just so well done. A lot of people will say that they want characters that feel real, but when push comes to shove and the show gets a little bit uncomfortable, they're the first ones to drop it and complain about it. Luckily, even if you are that type of person, I don't think this is a show that's easily dropped, period. The heavy, dreary subject matter is comboed with characters who are constantly giving you hope that everything will turn out fine. Even at their lowest moments, their real feeling reactions and them getting through these problems turns this from a despondent viewing experience into one that is instead uplifting. Finding direct comparisons for Journal with Witch is difficult. Even if you boil the series down to the category of drama alone, it's still hard to find anything truly like this show. Well, maybe if Asa's parents really did get isekai'd. But unfortunately, that's still unconfirmed as of now. This anime has the best depiction I've seen of people dealing with grief in anime by far. It's not dramatized in the way that anime normally is. It has none of the typical frills you'd see in a show like this. The situations being portrayed on screen are real ones that could happen to you or me or my bum-ass neighbor Craig. Hopefully my bum-ass neighbor Craig. The characters' reactions to these situations are completely based in reality, which as a viewer feels incredible to see. But for me, as someone reviewing the series, makes it incredibly hard to draw comparisons. I'm about to start power scaling Makio just to establish a connection. Makio is low diffed by Naruto, by the way. If you couldn't tell already, I loved Journal with Witch. Not only was it an incredibly fulfilling and profound viewing experience, but it also felt like an entire self-contained experience. You aren't getting some half-baked part 1 of a show you'll have to wait 3 years to see the next portion of. You're getting something you can watch and digest now, regardless of whether you've experienced loss or not. This is a show that gives you a very real glimpse into how people deal with the situation that everyone has to go through at some point. If you told me a year ago that an anime about a high schooler processing grief would beat out shows like Vinland Saga and movies like Your Name in ratings, I would have called you insane. In the week since I started working on this video, this show jumped 30 spots, by the way. The old comparison was it beating out JJK Season 2. But regardless, here we are. This show is now rated within the top 50 anime of all time. And I'm telling you that the rating this show has is deserved. If you don't believe me, go watch the show for yourself. You might just find yourself convinced. Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you if you made it this far into the video. I really appreciate it. Do you agree with my take that Journal with Witch is a fantastic anime, deserving of its ranking? Or do you think it was mid? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I read them all. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And as always, have a great day.